Hi, my name is Richard Hall. I wish to give a series of talks, and I suppose the talks can be called, shall we say, an examined life. What do we mean by that? Well, it means that we seek self-awareness. It's not something people normally want to do, but if you want to find out what you are and how you function, then it's a good place to start. The world we see around us at the moment is basically the result of people behaving like, as they say, like sheep, and not considering or examining how they are responding and how they're being manipulated. This has been sometimes thought of as a global IQ test, hence those who've fallen for the, well, shall we call it a plandemic or scandemic? I think we can call it a plandemic. These people have followed one another into a very dangerous position in terms of their health by following the advice of government bureaus. Now, if we don't examine who we are and how we respond, we will fall for the lies and falsehoods that are presented to us on the television. These findings, these pointers, should indicate that we need to live an examined life, in that we should understand how we respond to things, or rather respond to situations around us, and how we live our lives, and how we react to conditions that are being set for us. And we fall into traps if we are not aware. We are not even aware of ourselves on a very basic level. We cannot control our impulses. We cannot control our cravings for food. We cannot control our cravings for drink, or many things. And the reason for this is an inability to be aware at a deep and visceral level of what is taking place within us. And hence we remain unconscious and subsumed into these appetites, and there is no separation between us and the appetites. And hence we cannot free ourselves and become true, independent, thinking people that we're supposed to be. Now, the psychologist Carl Jung indicated the 4 basic functions of the human being, and it was influenced by whether the person was extroverted or introverted. This is the base, the basic functions on the way we operate. So we, as human beings, have certain functions, and these functions generally are out of balance with each other. And the 4 main functions are sensation, emotion, intellect, and intuition. And this is influenced whether this is further influenced as to whether the person is extroverted or introverted. Hence, the 8 main types are intellectual extroverted, intellectual introverted, emotional extroverted, etc., etc. The sensation type of person, when we speak of sensation, we mean the sensations that are coming at us all the time from inside and outside. It's generally an extroverted sensation type or an introverted sensation type. The extroverted sensation type very often is prone to addictions and likes to wear bright and colourful clothing, etc. So they present an extroverted view to the world. Introverted sensation types have sort of, as the word suggests, have an introverted yet unintellectual, undifferentiated view of the world. Extroverted emotional types, well, they're usually women. Introverted emotional types, usually women again. Not always, but more often than not. Extroverted intellectual types, which are probably very common these days, are people who can say work for charitable causes and then shout at their employees and abuse them. They tend to be sort of unconscious in that way. Then the intuitive types, well, these are like artists and writers and people who have sort of a line to the irrational and the unconscious archetypal world. And they are, again, extroverted types, which are usually great travellers and very often women. Introverted, intuitive types, maybe sort of strange artists and those sort of people, surrealist artists and that type. So these are the 4 basic, or sort of 8 basic types, and they're further differentiated into sub-functions. This is how people are before they actually start to work on themselves and start to get into some sort of balance. They're usually dislocated in some form, with one function being hugely preponderant and the other functions being basically unconscious or unaware, in the way that I suppose the easiest way to understand it is for an intellectual person, the emotions are usually not functioning to a level, and when they do function, they function in an uncontrolled and rather primitive way, and in the form of outbursts that are not really controlled. So they're not able to modulate their functions or become aware of them. It's again a matter of becoming aware of the different functions in the human being. I think I will terminate this now and continue this on at another time. Thank you.